Since 1991, Scotwest Credit Union has supported thousands of people across the west of Scotland with fair and ethical loans, savings accounts and mortgages, helping them improve their financial lives. These are just a few of the stories of members who have been with us since our beginning. Starting as the in-house credit union for Strathclyde Regional Council, many of our members continue to join us after being recommended in their workplace. Why did you join Scotwest?
A friend of mine recommended joining a credit union to really help to save, and also if you wanted to buy a big purchase, it was a car or a wedding, or even you just want to get by at Christmas, it was a good way of putting your money to one side to make it work for yourself and also make it to work locally for local people.
It was probably for purely selfish reasons that I joined, because I could see that they were offering a very good interest rate compared to banks. But as the time went on, I really began to learn about credit unions and understand that we're really saving to help one another. It's a community, and in saving money together, we can keep those interest rates down when we want to then access loans.
I remember there was an information drive about credit union in my workplace, and I and a group of colleagues decided to join because we were impressed with the aims and objectives of credit union, and we knew it was something that would be very easy for us to join and useful and helpful.
I joined Scotwest because one of my colleagues had been talking about the Christmas saver, and I thought it sounded like a really good idea to have a little bit of extra cash put away. So I signed up myself, and I've been a member for a good few years now, and it's been super beneficial.
We care about our members and their happiness and have been delighted to have been there for them when they have needed us most. How has Scotwest helped make a difference in your life?
A member of Scotwest allowed me to apply for a loan to buy a car, and also to get a loan to give to one of my very good friends for a deposit for a mortgage. So that was very helpful as well.
I went and got a top of the range Jaguar XF. I was about 2 years old at the time, and I phoned up the credit union and I said, look, I need a loan, car loan. Oh yeah, it's great. It was 3% or whatever it was at the time. Brilliant, no bother, fantastic. And the car, when I bought it, is called Charlie. It's still called Charlie because it's Charlie who told me way back at the time that get your car loan from the credit union. It just took me 20 years to get my car loan from the credit union, but I got there in the end. And when I wanted to get another car, I got another credit union loan to pay for the car that I've currently got, and that's also called Charlie. That's called Charlie 2. So it's the same. It's just a newer model of what I had. It's not a big fancy Jag, and I wouldn't have been able to get these cars if it wasn't for the credit union with low APRs for the loans. So I just wouldn't have been able to do it. That's the only reason I've got these fancy. People tell me, how can a science technician afford these big fancy cars? Credit union, that's the only reason.
My son had gone to university, didn't complete his undergraduate course, took some time out and then went back to university in a different pathway completely. However, the rules at those days was you didn't get refunded for undergraduate courses, so the credit union paid his fees for 2 years of his degree course. Again, that's nearly 30 years ago. That was one of the first uses we had of the credit union, and my son ended up with a first class honours degree and is now has a very successful company. So credit union were the building bricks for his career, so generationally it helps everybody.
Since joining Scotwest, I have been able to pay off my credit card in full. I have paid off my student loan early, and I've also been able to move house, which I wouldn't have done if it wasn't for the savings that I built up by being a member.
We are proud to have so many members stay with us for 30 years. Why have you remained a member of Scotwest?
I've stayed in Scotwest credit union for so long because it's like a financial friend, always there when I need it.
Credit union's fantastic. They cover all bases, and I hope they continue down this road and they continue to grow and prosper.
I saw no reason to leave. I feel that I'm still part of the community, and maybe less of a necessity to borrow now, but I continue to save, and hopefully that supports other members.
It's easy to be a member of the credit union, especially when you're working directed straight from your salary. Even when you move out, work out with area, or like me, retire, you can still pay through your direct debit for your bank. And it's so beneficial. It's beneficial to everybody in the community.
Scotwest continues to grow with hundreds of new members joining every month. What would you say to someone considering joining Scotwest?
To me, Scotwest is by far the best in the West for competitive and fair financial services.
So I would always say, phone your credit union up, have a chat with someone. They're really helpful. They're really one-to-one basis, and they're there to help you out. They're not there to reject any, loans or, reject your advice like the banks do. So please go along, pick the phone up, even email them, whatever you want to do, or go in with a friend if you're a bit older and you feel uncomfortable speaking on the phone. They're there to help you. And whatever you save is up to you. It could be £5 a month, it could be whatever you want to save, whatever you're comfortable with, but it will help in the long run. And certainly I'm going to continue with the credit unions until my dying days. I hope that will be next week. So make sure you join.
Join the credit union. You won't regret it at all.
For anybody thinking about joining, I would say don't hesitate, because you don't miss the money when it comes straight out of your salary, and it's incredible what you can achieve just by putting that little bit away every month. I've really not been successful in the past with more traditional types of saving, so this has really opened my eyes to the possibilities and has made it much, much easier for me to make a difference in my life.
Scotwest, where people count. Call 0141 227 2390 or visit scotwest.co.uk.